bitamale gaija bukoraki bwija na hati haroho enyegesa egambe eti no Ruhanga tahanga kintu kyona ebintu bino they just did what they just happened ensi ya hati nerobatira hamagezi aga ungodliness agoa aga Farawo hati Musa akakura omukikale kya Farawo ono atamanyiro but kigambwa ngo Mukama ono he had no son Ruhanga akayigiriza omusajja ono ataba naki n'omusigazi mwana omusigazi akamuhereza abaana b'obwisiki hati nkensi nk'okuweba Farawo haroho ekikaguzo oha aligaruka mu bigere byo bya Farawo ono rundi bene babu rundi baharabe somehow omuha bahara and this was his greatest beloved daughter. This is the daughter who picked Moses. Yamuihanka nkaha umukisaro kya Nile. That day, you know, God, the God, omuto kwete nugamba, the God we do what? We worship. Ruhangogu webiyamahano. Farao ono akaba mazire kusaininga a decree. Nagamba ati abana bona bobwojo aba Baisraeli mukoleki kill them. Kill them. And I want to tell you, many of those children were killed. Abazaire ba Musa yazalirwa omusizoni eno yokwita abana banka. Hati Musa bwazarwa bamusereka emyezi inga until bateho ekintu kiri kwetwa potoro. Potoro ni mugimanyi? Iwe potoro no gimanyi? Potoro ni kiye kiki? Bulinju hanju omuhigo. Hati bataho potoro okusera nju hanju obuharaba haroho abana baki Abaisraeli. Hati abazaire ba Musa bayesanga bali caught up in this kind of a scenario. Ensene gumire. Hati mama wa Musa hamuna ise bakora that basket. I don't know whether you understand what was going in their mind. Obuwomezi nibusobora kukufunza. But these people said, God, the God of Abraham, save us and save this child. Enyikara erikunyigiriza omuntu abantu baruhanga to go and throw their child, hide him in the bush. What were they feeling? I cannot imagine. Batwara omwana bagamba Mukama niyo kozireki. Let me tell you, our God understands. That very day, Musa taralenka. Moses did not sleep where? Outside. God sends rescue. Yatuma mahara woha. The very enemy of God's people. God uses this enemy to save the children he is persecuting. Ogu niwe ruhanga otukora ki? Moses did not sleep outside that day. As soon as he left the hands, the caring hands of the what? Of the mother, God took over. God did what? And brought the daughter of the enemy of God's people. She came to take a bath. And she came at the very place where Moses had been hidden. And they picked this boy. Very beautiful. Instead of dashing him down or drowning him in the what? Because Egyptians had been given permission to kill. This lady was kind through the power of the hand of God. Yatwara omwana ono yagamba, this child I know has been left here because of the decree of my what? Of my father. I want to believe that woman will go to heaven. Yakwata omwana ono. Yagenda yamwanjura. Yise yagamba, Father, I know you have decreed that the children of the what? Of the Hebrews should be done what? But not this one. This one is mine. And you know, later on, Miriam was watching. And she came near and said, yes, I am the sister of this boy. Now that you have accepted to take care of him, but she's still a baby, can I go and look for a nurse? Said yes. Brought the what? The mother. Those are the things God does. She was given permission, official, to take care, and no one should touch that child. But on top of that, Pastor Nohurida, Pastor Muzinguzi, this woman was also given a monthly salary. That's what God does. The woman is paid to take care of, and this is a fat salary. Payroll, she was put on the payroll of the palace workers to raise this son. Moses is raised as a prince. For how many years? Being prepared to become a what? Pharaoh, the greatest man on earth. But during the 12 years, he was in the hands of the what? The mother told Moses, Moses, you belong to the people of God. Yes, you are going to live as a prince. Never forget the God of the what? The Hebrews. All those lessons sung. And Moses went and lived as a what? As a prince. The power of a mother. God bless the mothers. So, Moses Later on, Moses at that time did not understand how things would work out. He started using taekwondo. You know, he was trained as a politician, as a scholar, but also as an army commander. So he starts using military tactics. He thought he would mobilize the Jews and they fight a physical battle and they take over Egypt. That government was too powerful. That is not how God works. And he takes Moses from Egypt into the wilderness of Midian. Another how many years? Those are 80 years. Now, it was during the wilderness that God taught Moses the ways of God. The Egyptians taught him the ways of Egypt. But God did not want to use the ways of the what? To save the children. God has his ways. Tell your neighbor, God has his ways. We must understand the ways of who? God uses what? Not what? It took 40 years to build godliness back into the mind of who? And when the lesson of godliness was complete, Moses was able to receive the revelation. And the first book he wrote was the book of what? Then he wrote the book of Genesis. Then he wrote the book of Leviticus. Then he wrote the book of but he didn't finish it. And life is like that. No one of us will finish this work. Someone else must do what? Must continue the story. And I want to share with you the beautiful stories God revealed to us through who? Moses. The story of creation. The story of what? You know, I know you have listened to this story. You have read it. Permit me to share with you important lessons from the book of Genesis, the story of creation, as we celebrate the creative power of God. You know, when Pharaoh asked, who is who? Who is God? God wanted to save this man. But the man did what? Refused. And rejected God's plan. When he determined to follow the children of Israel, even after 9 signs, when God is showing himself as a powerful God, Pharaoh was still determined. He became stubborn. And he said, I'll use my army and go and bring these people, and I'll mix ninja kutabura esagama yabo omusenyi gwanka. wa Misiri, and I will make bricks out of their blood. You know, this man was a great builder. He wanted to build another monument. This time, the bricks would be mixed of what? You know, kings can become powerful. He wanted to build another monument using the blood of the what? That could have been behind. And he followed these people. The people who are led by God, you cannot fight them. God told Moses, lift your hand and the rod. That rod, you remember what that rod made? That rod had swallowed all the rods, the staffs. Omwigo gwa Musa gukaba gumazira okumira emigo y'abakulu bankaha, including n'omwigo gwoha. Pharaoh had been disarmed. He never knew that. You know, that rod was a rod for authority. Mukama obu yatumire Musa yagenda mu kikaali, yagamba Pharaoh ono omanyire is a hard-hearted man. He believes in miracles, magic. I want you to go. When they will ask you your authority, you throw down your what? You know why it became a serpent? These people, they used it to worship what? The devil. Throw down your what? Your stick and it will become a what? But this snake is not an Egyptian snake. This is God's what? Wow. Pharaoh said, Moses, these are the things we deal with. Let me show you that there is the power of a serpent in this what? In this rod. Because it is the serpent who gave me this what? This rod. He also puts down his. Pharaoh says, all these chiefs you see, they know this story, this game. They also put down their what? Their rods. The whole office was full of what? The snakes were looking at the people. But there is something which happened to teach these men a lesson. The serpent of Moses, it went, picked each of these serpents one by one, and they swallowed it one by one, until the room was ridden of what? Only one serpent remained, and it stood in the middle of the what? Of the office, as if it was going to swallow who? And the Pharaoh drew back, and there was silence. And Moses picked his what? His serpent, and it became once a rod. And so Moses says, Pharaoh and your officers know that God means what? Means business. Know that God does what? God, the creator, means what? Do not play around with the God of where? He knows no rival. Moses says, the God I represent, the creator of the heavens and the earth, one who holds, he preached to these people, one who holds the breath of air in your what? In your nostrils. He loves the people. That's why he has sent me to rescue them from your what? From your tyranny. And he picks his rod and he tells him, think about these things. We meet next time. And they went out. God is still giving this man time to do what? To have room for this in his heart, for this God. Move from ungodliness to what? Why do you think he wanted to rescue the children of Israel? Move them from the environment of what? Take them back to himself. In the book of Genesis, kitabu kyokubanza sura emu, why does God love godliness? Why? Genesis chapter 1. Genesis chapter 1 verse 26. Habwaki Ruhanga nasemererwa obwa Ruhanga. Esura eyokubanza esura emu rukara rwa 26 ne rugamba. Kandi Ruhanga mukama Ruhanga yagamba tukole omuntu omukusisana kwaitu omukisani kyobwa Ruhanga balemege enju ez'omunyanja n'enyonyi ez'omu mwanya hali ebisoro byona ebigendera hansi. God Ruhanga bwakaba nahanga omuntu atamuhange nk'ebintu ebindi. Ruhanga kahanga omuntu asanege hamo nawe. Godliness. Omukusana kwa Ruhanga akabahanga omukazi hamo naki? Ruhanga akahanga abantu nuko basanege hamo Noah. God wanted godliness to be the reigning principle in among human beings. Godliness. In the image of God, omukusana kwa Ruhanga yabahanga omusajja kandi hamo naki? Wow. Story y'obuhangi ni mugimanyi. Sura egi etandika negamba okubanza Ruhanga kahanga iguru naki? Titumanyire teturu kusobora amakuru gebigambe ebi tukagamarayo. The very first statement in the Bible is loaded. Okubanza Ruhanga kahanga iguru naki? Iguru nensi byoha. Abamagezi bamale emyaka nibega iguru kyonka tebali kusobora kukora ki? Kulimarayo. Buli kiro they discover new things. Our God is a God of inexhaustible wisdom. How Ruhanga bintu na toru kusobora kumanya umulingo yabihangire. Kandi obuhangi nka Yobu nko kuyagambire. This story of Job was very common. Yobu was akabalinga bwa Ruhanga. Omanyire Midiani nikye kikaro Yobu ebichweke ebi no Yobu yikaraga. So this story was common And God told Moses to write that story. So it is here. Ruhanga ayahangire ebisoro nebinyonyi nebintu ebindi byona toro kusobola kumumalayo. Story y'obuhangi orukara rukubanza rugamba, in the beginning God created the heaven and the earth. Hanyuma agenda nasobora the state of the earth. Ense kabanisa netu. Ekaberi nka omumaizi. Amaizi ago nawo gagaruka hali Ruhanga. And then Ruhanga yagamba, what did he say? Let there be what? Leka habeho ekyererezi. You see light. Where did that, our science bekaguza, where did that light come from? If the sun was created on the fourth day. Izoba likangwa. Ikiro kyakayinga. Yeah, but now we know that there are other suns in the sky. We know it by science. Ruhanga yayikiriza ekyererezi. Light comes from God. And kakuba osoma hakyererezi. Those of you who abasomera ekitabo kya Abbott physics, the topic about light is one of the largest topics. There is complicated mathematics about light. Ekiro kya kabiri Ruhanga yagamba ati habeho ki, let there be space hagati ya maizi hamu naki na maizi. Amaizi agandi gagenda nka, agandi gasigara nka. Hati abandi bagamba, where was God? Obwakabana agamba ebigambo bino. Nanyoti imanyiri. But he did not need to be here. He has a throne. He has a what? He did not need to come here in order to create. His word is powerful. He speaks. In the book, ekitabu kya Psalms, nikyo Zaburi, Sura 3:3, agamba, he spoke and it happened. He commanded and it did what? It stood forth. This is the God. One of the things I enjoy in this story is this creative power. Ekiro kya kasatu, you read the story. Ekiro kya kasatu, Ruhanga yagamba amaizi agahansi gesoroze nkaha. Let water not cover let water go in certain places and let earth, land appear. And the water went. It formed the oceans. And it formed the lakes. And this land called Ankole did what? It appeared. He did not end there. And he said, let the land produce what? Leka ensi ezale biki. Now I ask myself a question. Iwe muhanji, ninyi musome ebintu bino. Ekikaguzo nikigamba Did these plants come as seedlings? Or they were grown-ups? They were grown-up trees. When God said, let vegetation and trees do what? Pastor, how do you call seedlings in Runyankore? No. Timuri kumanya ndimi. Tuzetendo kwa. Those trees tizirabire chichi. They were grown up what? With what? With the seeds in them. That's one thing I like about this God. Taralinzire emiti ekabanza kukora hanyuma emyaka 10. They were grown up what? And I love flowers. And they were also what? Flowers with sweet scent. If you smell this thing, this is not made by human beings. You know, I spent a lot of time, about 15 years of my early life, maybe 12, 13 years. I enjoyed nature. I grew up grazing my father's animals. And we experimented literally on everything. Tukatembe miti, tuwazanire mu miti, we smelled, we tasted many things. And we saw animals, we saw squirrels. Squirrels ni mujetachi, niyo kamuji ni mujimanya. What is a squirrel in it? Eh? Yes. You know, I like those small animals. Very stubborn. And God, that was on the 5th day, God said, let the land bring forth what? No, that is Thursday. Those were birds and seas. On Friday, it was the animals. You know, do you know an elephant? That huge thing, it came from where? From the ground. Have you seen how mushrooms grow from the ground? This God. Do you understand the God I'm talking about? And they were not few. They were in thousands. And it comes, and it didn't have dust. There was no what? It came, enjoju ya ruganka, umuitaka, uwekaba neruge ya koreti. And it begins, its biology was finished. Now, you ask a question, when did it become meat? Was it a model first? Or it came when it was an alive animal? What do you think, Pastor Kizito? It was a live one. Katonda teyasoka kubumba bintu bino ne bijula wona. Naye nga sibiramu. Kanalyoka alagira nti kale mufoke balamu. Ekintu kyava mu ttaka nga kikola ki? Nga kitambula nga kyenyeenya nga kisomuka nga kirina omukono ne kikwata ettabi nga kirya. They were not babies. Kaakati ekintu kyeneewuunya kyekintu ekibayita birds. I enjoy watching birds. These birds, they did not come from the ground. Katonda yalagira naga nti ebbanga likole ki? Lireete ebinyonyi. Just awatali kintu ne wakola ki? Ekinyonyi tekyagwa ku ttaka. It was able to stand where? Nga kibuuka. Wano mu space wano. Where there was nothing, God brought something out of what? This is a God who is powerful, is orderly. These animals, these birds, who taught them to fly? Kitima. Do you know the science of flight? You know, I study science. You know, do you know the ability nimumanya obusobozi bw'ebinyonyi? You know, these scientists, they tell you they have hollow bones. Bina amagufa agatari kukora ki? Agatari kulemeera. They have feathers. Those ebyo, they contain air. Air cannot go through. So they are able to float on air. Wow. And they began playing. There is this bird called the chikonkonamuti. Do you know that we call it yangongotrera in my language? That bird, it stands on trees upright like this. With that strong beak to cut a tree and remove the sawdust. How? And it has no chisel. It has no chisel. It just uses the what? You know, I get amazed by this God. A God who gives ability to his creatures to do wonderful things. And you look at the plumage. If you decorated, and you begin to marvel. This God. Now, Esura yokubanza, the purpose of chapter 1 of Genesis, nukwo kutuegesa that God is powerful and able. God is what? Hati, there are people who worship a crippled God. Haro abantu abaramya Ruhanga atari kukora ki? Atari kwebasa. Our God is what? He is able. He is able. I know he is able. I know to carry me through. He's able. I know he's able. I know my Lord is able to carry me through. The God, Ruhanga uturamya, ni Ruhanga arukukora ki? Arukubasa. That chapter is intended to teach us that God is what? Not only able, he is powerfully able. He is powerfully able. Wow. Esura ya kasatu orukaro rwasatu na rumwe rugamba nuko iguru nensi byahwa niheri yabi. And God saw that everything was what? The God who does good, beautiful. You look at the monkey and it jumps in a tree. Very playful. This God, I want to know more about him. When the more mbere tuhika kwega hamani garohanga, the more godliness. You cannot study toru kusobora kwega hali rohangono and you remain dead. Knowledge about God transform. Obutumanya rohanga tuhinduka okusanizibwa hamu noha hamu nawe. What is the purpose? Esura ya kabiri eina mugaso ki? Read with me Genesis chapter 2. And very soon tuija kuba nitumara. And we celebrate this God. We should not forget about him. We should give him glory and honor. Esura ya kabiri eina kigenderwa ki? This is the creation story from a different perspective. A personal, relational, loving, caring God. Esura eya kabiri. Orukara orwa musanju. Ni rugamba ruta.
Bwanyuma Mukama Ruhanga yahanga omuntu omu mucucu gwa hasi yamuhuhamu omu nyindo omwiso gw'amagara omuntu yaba ohuriire.
Ati ningonzo hulirize esura egi from that verse 7 Ruhanga atwesukura not only tali Ruhanga kyonka but he is also Lord. He is not only God, he is introduced as the Lord God. Mu Bible obwosanga the combination bwosanga ebitini sabinu bibiri biri hamu biti Mukama kandi batiraho na kigambo ki Jehovah Elohim. Mukama Ruhanga. That is the greatest title of God known in scriptures. Ibara eriru kusingayo obusobozi eriyo bwa Ruhanga eritusukulira mbihandikirwe obusanga Ruhanga nibamweta Mukamoha. Mukama Ruhanga. Those represent the highest honors known to us by God. Ruhanga tagonza tumumanye nka Ruhanga ayahangire ebintu baitu niwe Mukama wabyona. Mukama Ruhanga yakora omuntu omucucu gwaki gwitaka kino okuhangwa kw'omuntu kwembaganiza hali obuhangi obundi bwona ebintu ebindi byona Ruhanga yaragiraga ati habeho. And you know, one of the birds, there was trees where we grew up. Hundreds of these birds would come. We called them the sunbirds. Sun what? In my language, we call them enzweve. That bird has some of the best feathers shining here and here, blue, green, and red. yellow here. Beautiful. Those were spoken. Ebiruhanga akaragira byakora ki? Kyonka omuntu ataragira eti naiwe rugayo mu itaka. That's not what he did. Bible negamba eti Mukama Ruhanga akakora. He formed what? He formed man. And I saw women making pots. Making what? Iwe mukyara muwanga. Ukaroraho abantu abari kubumba. Babumba bata. Hey. That is Iworiyo Munyankore. Yagamba ati bagenda in a place ibumba mbale baliha, we call it embwa. Ibumba tebamara galiha anywhere. They are selected places, and God looked for this place. And he did not just carry, he carried it on the head. Yasera ekituru kyomuti, measured. Hati yaletana amaizi omukisisi, nago yagataho. Hati yatekamu yatandika kutabura ki. The three of them were, two were there, one mixes, another one comes, or all of them are mixing. Obarozire limazire gukora ki? Kukwata kurungi, balinyiga, taking time. Ibumbo bwobumbo otalitabwire kurungi, ekinanga tikikora ki? Tikikwata. Hati basera n'ensibo egi bagiha. Nalyo libayitaka. Orundi baliha in mountains. Orundi basera enguhyo ezibumba erindi balisa kurungi. And God did all those things. He didn't want to take a chance with Tima. You know, you people who study anatomy and physiology. He wanted to make sure ibumba lino lihire kurungi kandi linyina the right mixture, litabwire kurungi ne birungo ebisemerire. And I saw these women, they make what we call a mirisio, okuligisa nukwo kukwata kitoli kimu agenda na kikola hati abisinga kibagiraira abiteka hati akwata kimu. And one of the things that insemeza hamuntu nikyo kintu, let me I don't know what is inside. Very, very delicate. But I am amazed. Nebintu bine binyakulinka. Kakuba Ruhanga yahangira omuntu ayina omunwa nkogwa enyawawa. Do you know? Enyawawa ni mujimanya? What would have happened? Inyo enyawawa temuri kujimanya. Enyawawa niyo mpa abana mu Ruganda. Not like a nyawawa, not like a heron, or this marab stock. You know marab stock? Niyo karoli. No. God, you know, lips are one of the things which make man beautiful. And he put, supposing we had only one nostril, one big one, or supposing the nose was here. But first, let me tell you, God must have taken time to design it. God wanted to make something what? Beautiful. You look at the women, these women hairs. You must confess that God loves what? Beauty. Loves what? Yakora maiso gano, no gracefully. And this one. And he puts this. My mother told him, I love my mother. That woman taught us many things. She told us that if we used to ask her many questions, I don't know whether her biology was right or not, but she told us that if you removed all of these what? Ebikoherio. We call it ebikoherio. Embonezo. This is my mother's science, not your mother's science. She said you cannot sleep if these eyelids are not there. Maybe a person, these children can be very serious. Now, if a child asks you that question, and you remember these are the questions we need to ask him. So what happens if a person did not have what? Mother said, my children, maybe a person cannot do what? And God forgot those. What would you do gwe mukyala gwe? Katonda n'akutonda naye neerabira okuteekako biki? So olwo twalibadde nga tetwebaka as my mother taught us. I don't know. But he also put those there. Look at how the eye is designed. God. And he also put, he put these what? Now suppose these ones were not there. What would you have done? We are just flat here and just flat here. God was generous. Nakutekako n'ekiki n'amatu. And teyakiteekako nga kiri flat. It is designed. Have you seen how this one is designed, mukyala muwange? Very, very nice. This ear is well done what? God. Kakati. Nateekako matu ameka. Teyateekako kumu. Ate n'akupima nga si kuwanvu. God did not give us ears like rabbits. Me, when I look at these things, Ruhanga, let me tell you, it is humbling, it is ewing. You look, Ruhanga. Obu yamazira omuntu, mbu yamuhuhamu oluuya lwaki. Meaning, he first did a complete, and he made the elementary canal, and the liver, and its functions, and everything, and all those things, and the other one. Until now, have you seen how these, we call them nails? Singa Katonda teyateekako nails kiki kyalibaddewo. Naye buli kintu yakiteekako to make a perfect what? Kaakati ng'amaze okukola omuntu ono on this table, and the entire Godhead They were the doctors. Ono ateekako kino oba ono ateekako kino, ono akola enjala zino, akola enjala nakola ki, naziteekamu kimu nekikwata n'ebigere. Kaakati nga bamaze okakasa nti buli kintu kiteredde, omuntu buli kimu ekyetaagisa kwekiri. Kaakati Katonda n'akola ekintu kye tuyita intimacy, and he breathed. He is creating one, not just of any kind, but one who resembles who? Him. And you know, Adam was a giant. In those times, people were not as short as I am. 18 feet tall, with a chest, majestic. God breathed into this. Kakati, inywa bamanyire the science of life. Nebinywa, everything, blood circulation is ensured. God said, and this thing becomes a living what? Until this time, all this was clay. All this was what? Now, explaining how clay becomes meat. That is serious. And the blood goes through along with that air. You know, those cells, complicated systems. And you know, this creature called who? Adam. As Adam started breathing, and he opened his what? And he saw God smiling at him. And he smiles back. Wow. There was something. You know, if omuntekaniza yobuhangi obwaraba haroho ekintu ekiri kuhuniriza was the creation of what? Of man. And God holds his hand and lifts him. And Adam was not staggering. He was not staggering. Adam stands and he looks at God the Father, God the Son, and God the what? And he is invited in the fellowship of the Godhead. What we call what? This omuntu ono akabanyina obwongo burukola ki? Adam was not a baby. Was created with strong what? Bones. The first talk was between God and what? And man. Godliness. And Adam begins looking at nature, and he appreciates. And God holds him and begins introducing him to the things which have been created before. And God says, all these things, you'll take care of them. Nguruhanga mazire koleki, as if that was not enough. Ruhanga yali amazire kuhanga ensi n'emiti na buli kintu kyona, but God created another space called Eden. Yahanga yahanga orugonjo. Orugonjo oru inywe mutegeza muturwalirwa ebitooke. Habwokuba engonjo z'ebitooke nizo mumanyire. N'abantu Abaganda baluyita balooza nti lwali lusuku lw'amatooke. It was something more than that. They were harimu emiti emirungi. It was paradise on earth. Iguru nkaha yatekamu emiti. This is a creation within a what? A creation. Beautiful trees, beautiful flowers. It was something which we have never seen. Yatekamu ebyokulya na buli kintu kyona. Yatemu n'omuti ogwaki ogw'obwomezi. Yagamba ati Adam, all these I have done what? Mbiguhairize. God had provided that man will live in beauty, eternal beauty. Oburungi obutakora ki? There were trees. One of the things I enjoy in life are fruits. And when we go to heaven, I can't wait eating those fruits. Those beautiful fruits. Delicious. God yagamba ebintu bino byona mbikuherize. Rohanga isura ya kabiri. Rohanga mukama w'obwomezi. Rohanga agonze nkorana hamu naki naitwa abantu. A God, a gracious God. You know that act of Rohanga okuta orwoyarwe nkaha omuntu. God would have commanded air, but he didn't want to do that. Gave us akatuha obwomezi obwoha to enjoy oneness with him. Ruhanga obumu, ruhanga wokugonza. Not only that, yatwara omuntu yamugamba Adam, I want you to do something with me. Participate with me. God involves. Yahereza Adam yagamba ningonza ohe emiti eno amabara gayo. You know, Adam was a scientist already. Was a what? With PhD. He knew the botanic names. How did he know? He looks at this tree. He says, this tree, these are its characteristics. This one shall be called Muvule. This one is, how do you call a baka tree Murunyankore? No mutom. No mutom. Now I don't know the names in your language, but I know this language. And he looks at it and says, this one, Ononemo Severion. Ononemo Kohwa. Ononemo Hangahang. Ononemo Viriri. Ononemo Trikir. And so on, and so on, and so on. Even grasses, he gave them what? Names. Wow. And he looks at the animals. The first one was a monkey. Says this one is called a what? Now, where did Adam get that wisdom? God gave him the wisdom. And from there, organic or Bible in Uganda, obuyamazire kuhanga ebintu byona, and there was no one, no creature comparable to who? To Adam. God wants Adam to develop intimacy and longing. And God, Ruhanga yagarukamu phase yokoraki yokuhanga. He makes Adam lie down and gets a rib from him. Ihamu rubaju yagaramuki. How did Moses know this? God had the entire film of creation replayed. Ruhanga akabayinaki all these videos. Musa na Arora, what happened, so that he was able to write. And Eve, that one was another masterpiece. Repeats the whole creation. And there was a wedding ceremony which was presided over by who? Amaka Ruhanga no yakozireki. Yes. Belonging. Ruhanga atatuhange nke miti, so that we are independent of the what? Of the other. Ruhanga yahanga omuntu omusajja hamunaki to live together. And Sabbath was coming, and the entire angelic host came. Did what? Or whoever Joru, it was a wedding ceremony for Adam and who? Obugenyi bw'obugole, abamaraika, and the entire creation. They participated in celebrating marriage. After that, they celebrated Sabbath. Marriage and Sabbath are two peak gifts in creation, unique. The God we worship. Ruhanga ubusobozi nasobora, Ruhanga wokugonza, wembabazi, kandi Ruhanga, he rejoices in everything good. Hati omuntu gwagamba ati Ruhanga noa timumanyiri. What should we do for you now? We work to help people. Nuko abantu betegereze Ruhanga ono uturamya ngo kwale Ruhanga wobusobozi. The rest of the story of the Bible builds on these principles. Ruhanga wobusobozi. Ekibi no bukyayizire. God has a plan to restore things. And so, tujaguza obusobozi bwe. You cannot worship this God. Toro kusobora kuramya Ruhanga ono otaketegerize mirimo ye eno. Obwomara kurora amani ga Ruhanga gobuhangi. The God who provides. Ruhanga nafa atahanga abantu akabale komusi. He provided everything. Water. Nahatibunu. Ebyokulya ebitulya. Ruhanga nuwe ameza. Ruhanga nuwe akuza ebitoke. Ate obutulya obutunywa tukugiza oha. Ruhanga. You look at the resources in the earth until today. Akamanyangu nabe myaka ye 12 but they will need food to eat. Hence tekachwekaga. We still, and he made a covenant and he said, until heaven and earth pass away, sowing and reaping will do what? Will continue. Ruhanga akamanyati abantu nibetago koraki. He made a covenant. yagamba ndabalisaga. Nikyo Pawulo agambira ati obumulya rundi obumukola ki? Mukole byona bukitiinisa kyoha. It is dangerous to live an ungodly life. Okagamba oti Ruhanga tinkozire ki? Ensi mbere turi kurubatira yoha. Let me tell you, buli kintu kyona kitukozesa. All these materials come from where? From earth, from nature. Abahesi zino engoye ebintu byona bitukora biruga nkaha omwitaka lyoha. Omuntu akora ki? Yes, we can develop technology na magezi Ruhanga nuwakora ki? Nuwagatuha. Orwoya nuwakora ki? Hati toro kusobora kuomera mbere Ruhanga takozire ki? Mbere atali. And so Ruhanga tumuha ekikaro kyokubanza nkaha mbomezi bwaitu. Bible iyo lesson egambira eti to love who? Habwaki Ruhanga ntumugonza. Hariho bwakaiso buri kuoleka ngo Ruhanga okora ki ugonza. Habwokuba nendwaire n'obuzije abantu bakarwaraga bona bakora ki? Bakahwerekera. Akyalinzira obwomezi bw'abantu. Nuwatulisa. Nuwatuhoroya rubomezi, including nabo abagamba ngo Ruhanga taroho niwe abalisa. And so sabiti enu irizo muntu hamu na Ruhanga to remind us that we need God. Ruhanga ono nitukora ki? Nitumwetaga, tumumanye, tumuramye, nukwo tusobole okuruga omukintu ekyahansi kino in ungodliness tugaruke yonkaha. And when that happens, godliness obwegaruka mu bwomezi bwaitu, we become faithful, obedient children of God. Entekaniza eyokujunwa is to remove, bring to end emirimo yaki? Tugaruke nkaha omubwa Ruhanga. Ensi nesasa habwokuba there is ungodliness in it. Eno niyo plani y'omunyanzi gwa Sitaani. Kyonka Ruhanga nagonza kutuya hano atugale omukinisa ky'obwa Ruhanga, omungeso z'obwa Ruhanga, omikore y'obwa Ruhanga. It is ungodly people who cause trouble in this world. Omulimo gwe kanisa, omulimo gwa masomero, omulimo gwa marwaro niko kugara omuntu mu kitinisa kyaki eky'obwa Ruhanga. And ogwo nigwo mulimo gw'okutebeza enjiri. Nigwo abantu batine Ruhanga bamuhe ekitinisa habwokuba kasumiko ku ky'omusango kakozire ki? Is God able to judge? Yes. Akachwera Farao musango gwakora ki? Not that he loved it. He akalengaho okwesukura oha Misiri. Ijuka, do you remember when God saved Egypt for 7 years of what? Emyaka musanju yaki yenjara. It is because God loved these people. Kyonka finally when they rejected him, abantu abo bafuuka dangerous to themselves. Ruhanga akasumi kalihika ense nagichwera omusango okoraki okufa nekibi kino kikoleki kirugeho, so that godliness will remain supreme. Omulimo gwaitu hatibuno nukwo kuyikiriza obwa Ruhanga buhikire nkaha mbwomezi bwaitu. Godliness transforms. Otunge gakasumi okwega ekigambo kya Ruhanga, otunge gakasumi omukusaba, otunge gakasumi omukuramya Ruhanga, nokukitumiriza hali ruhanga obu tukora ebintu binu bitwiha omukibi okutugara omu ngeso zaki z'obwa ruhanga. Ninsaba Mukama atukonyere tukule omu ngeso z'okumanyoha. Let them see all those who say we want to grow in godliness. Ogu nugwo mulimo gw'ekanisa. May God bless you. Mwemere tusabe. Omuhangi w'iguru n'ensi, ntukusiima habw'okugonza kwawe n'oburungi bwawe. Webale habw'entekaniza ezo twinire nk'abantu. Omwiru wawe Yeremiya agamba nizo embabazi za Ruhanga nikyo tutamalirweho. Embabazi zawe zongere okukanya obwomezi bwaitu. Otwegese tukule omu ngeso z'obwa Ruhanga. Oganyire okutahikira kwaitu. Kandi otukozese tumanyise abantu abatari kukumanya n'okuha ekitiinisa nabo bakumanye bakuhindukire. Omugisa gwa Ruhanga isiitwe, Ruhanga Omwana, Ruhanga Omwoyo bikale hamu naitwe bitulinde hati n'ebiro byona mu Yesu Kristo omucunguzi waitu.